You gotta contact Jeff.
Hold on 1 second here.
And we're gonna thank.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me get everything on.
Live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 30 WVBF Middleboro Taunton and W259DD Middleboro Center 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Alright, sounds like that's working. Switch that to live AM. Live AM. CIS, that's good. Yeah. Replay, that's on. Okay. There. Okay, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final Middleboro Review of the year. Excuse my long hair here, my weird-looking hair for this morning. December 27th, 2020. We got a jam-packed program today. We're going to talk a little bit about there is some things going on locally. In Raynham and Taunton, there's some construction going on that we want to mention about and talk about a little bit as well. We have sports. Sports is big time going on right now. NBA has just started. They had their Christmas Day games. The Celtics did play, so we will talk about that a little bit. The Celtics were coming off a big win against Milwaukee. We have a couple of interesting local stories. We have a story about a bridge in Middleboro Carver area that we're going to talk about too. And we also have the miscellaneous topic of the day, which is the failed Roanoke Colony. We're going to talk about that as well.
Chief Customer Officer, Hyundai has always been a company that listens to customers and strives to provide products and services that maximize value and simplify life. Building on the strong foundation of America's best warranty, Hyundai Complimentary Maintenance helps dealers ensure that our owners keep rolling with peace of mind.
Complimentary maintenance is part of Hyundai's promise to create a better ownership experience. For more, visit Hyundai3yearmaintenance.com.
The coronavirus's deadly impact being felt more than ever this month. Daniel Naraki has more.
The United States has reached a grim milestone in the fight against coronavirus, as 1 in 1,000 Americans have died of COVID-19. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, the total number of people who've died from COVID since the beginning of the pandemic topped 331,000 on Saturday, with December becoming the deadliest month this year. Nearly 60,000 people have succumbed to the virus this month. Health officials have warned that a continued surge after the holidays could raise the death toll to over 400,000 by early next year. From the USA Radio News Ohio Bureau, I'm Dan Naraki.
A deadly night at a bowling alley. 3 people killed and 3 hurt in a shooting last night at a bowling alley in Rockford, Illinois. 2 teenagers among those shot. No word on their conditions. A 37-year-old man in custody. The shooting an apparent random act of violence. A deadly shooting in Massachusetts as well. 1 killed and 5 hurt in a shooting yesterday in Lynn during the filming of a rap video. No arrests announced. This is USA Radio News.
At the American Veterinary Medical Association annual convention in Washington,
What's going on?
I spoke with Dr.
Lynn?
John Howe, AVMA president, about One Health,
things going on in Nashville. What's going on?
Veterinarians or public health officials. For example, in Minnesota, our state public health veterinarian deals with zoonotic diseases, rabies, for example. Animals are sentinels for humans, and humans are sentinels for infections.
That's
There's
three
more
separate
valuable
things in
information at avma.org.
3 days.
Retailers this shopping season, but just wait till next year. Here's Tim Berg.
U.S. retail sales rose just over 2% between November 1st and Christmas
All
Eve.
right.
Many Americans ditched shopping.
We have a
in
new
stores
ad on here
or
today.
digital outlets.
Oh yeah. What is it?
It's a PSA.
Trends favored
Okay.
household goods and
Police
food
department,
over apparel.
DUI, PSA,
That's according
holiday
to
stuff.
early sales data from firms that track
They're gonna
shopper spending.
thank,
now, as far as celebrating
Trading
the
Post,
holidays,
give them a
it
plug.
looked a lot
Yes.
different
Yeah.
this year
Yeah.
than it has in years past due to the pandemic.
They got rid of
But Dr.
commercials,
William
and
now-
Hazeltine tells MSNBC there is
Yeah,
light at
it's-
the
that
end of
is
the tunnel.
Out of here now. The commercial. It's not on the log.
But if it doesn't go out like a
I'll give him a plug
lamb,
though.
it's
Because
going to go out
technically,
like a ram.
I'm
We
gonna.
have vaccines on the way for many companies, and they will be more available. We have new drugs that are on their way and will help ease the burden not only of the virus, but the consequences of the virus.
From the USA Radio News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
No Powerball winner last night. The jackpot rose to $363 million
Wow.
for Wednesday's drawing. No winner Friday in Mega Millions either. That jackpot now at $376 million for Tuesday's drawing. A playoff appearance clinched in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Detroit Lions yesterday 47-7 for their 10th win of the season.
So Powerball
Playoff for the
is
first time since 2007.
363 and Mega Millions is 376 million.
no one hits it.
The opinions
Wow.
expressed on this program are
It's
those
growing
of the
and
host and do not
Huge.
express the views
It's
of
growing and
WVBF
growing.
That is huge.
ownership or
Very
Hometown
alive,
Talk
buddy.
Radio. Content aired on all
Big numbers.
programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final Middleborough review for the year of 2020. Today is December 27th, 2020. I'm gonna say good morning to Don.
Good morning, Joe.
How are you, Don?
Not bad. Little crisp out there, but nice. The roads are dry, and the snow has all melted.
So some interesting stories there on the top of the hour news. The Powerball and the Mega Millions is up there. Obviously not the biggest numbers that they've seen. There's obviously been bigger Mega Millions and bigger Powerballs in the past, but those are some pretty big numbers climbing up there. So pretty interesting.
So yeah, be able to buy yourself a few cans of SpaghettiOs if you won that, right?
Yeah, a lot of cans. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure someone will crunch the numbers.
Well, how many cans of SpaghettiOs you can buy with those winnings?
With those winnings, yeah, I'm sure someone will crack the numbers for us, and
Oh, we'll get the crack.
we'll get an answer.
We'll get the crack research on it right away.
All right,
Crack research team.
all right, so what do we have planned for today?
That was funny, wasn't it?
Well, we have a lot of interesting things to talk about today. Our miscellaneous topic for the day will be about the Roanoke colony. Of course, talking about the first attempt at the English colonists to make a home here in what was eventually called America. But that was late 1500s, and it was a failed attempt. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll also mention St. Augustine as well. I know St. Augustine is one of the oldest towns in America, so we're going to talk about that too. Like I said, history is interesting to talk about, and I am a big history fan. I love history. I love U.S. history, military history. Don also likes U.S. history and military history as well. So, interesting topics. Locally, we're going to talk a little bit about some interesting construction projects that are starting to happen in Raynham and Taunton area on 44. We'll mention the 2444 bridge replacement project again. There's some thoughts that we have about that. There's some thoughts I have about the tree clearing that people may have noticed if they've driven on 44 as well, on New State Highway area near Tire Shack. There's some interesting things going on. There's a lot of tree clearing there. So there'll be some talk about that too. There's some interesting topics about going about in Middleboro. There is a really good story, really nice story that I'm going to mention in the second segment. And there's also a story about the Middleboro Carver Bridge that was memorialized a couple of weeks ago. So we have a bunch of topics to talk about, and we also have sports, of course. We have some interesting topics there: Celtics, Bruins, Patriots. Patriots season, it's over, but now it's really all about the draft position, where they're going to end up in the draft, and who will they draft. I have some suspicion that it will be a quarterback. I don't know how I know it's the first year of the Cam Newton contract, or probably the first and only year. I don't know if we will extend him. We'll have to find out. We'll see eventually. We'll find that out. If they draft a quarterback, then it's most likely that someone in the quarterback slot for the Patriots will be gone next season. Whoever that will be, I don't know. But I think they are looking at a quarterback. But we will talk about that later on in the show as well. So we have a jam-packed program for today. Now, let's talk about the weather here on the final show of 2020. Right now, currently 23 degrees in Middleboro. Very cold. Very cold out there. Had to heat up my car for a few minutes. So it's cold. 40 degrees for the high. 53 on Monday, tomorrow. Cloudy. And Thursday, 53. Friday, 48. There's some rain coming in as well. It was pretty up and down temperatures this week for Middleboro. And in Taunton, it's the same story. 20 degrees currently. And pretty much the same story for the week. Driscoll, Texas, it's currently 51 degrees with a high of 81 today. Coldest day of the week is actually going to be 59 degrees on Thursday for the high, which is a surprise for that area of Texas. I don't know how much of a surprise, but it is very much a surprise to me that we're going to see only 59 degrees on Thursday in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, currently snowing, actually, and 17 degrees. Starting to see the single digits when it comes to the lows. Tonight it'll be 6 above. So very cold nights coming up. All right, so 7:15. Let's Don had some thoughts about the 4424 bridge replacement project concerning it when it comes to how the road is now laid out now. What are your thoughts, Don?
Well, just got to beware if you're heading west on 44, ready to go over the 24 bridge, because it was always a lane split. Not a lane split, but the lane moved. You know, it's split a little bit. But now the right-hand lane is open for 24 south. And the thing is, when you go over the bridge, you find yourself to the right.
Yeah.
And then you have to go to the left real fast. The lanes aren't really clearly marked. We kind of had an issue coming over the bridge.
And
because we're so used to it, not splitting, but you know what I mean, curving or whatever. It's always been a split lane.
And it being dark like that as well really adds to the confusion.
Yeah, let's get getting things wrapped up, but they need to get that lined up. They need to get some lines over there because now there's gonna be a lot of people who I always hug the right hand lane because it was always curved off to the left. You know, that was your lane, and then that right. But now they got the far left lane open. So, but nothing's really marked.
Yeah,
so anybody going that way, just they changed the lane configuration. That's what I meant to say. The lane configuration.
And it's you got to be very careful because there's bound to be accidents.
Well, you got to be in the right hand lane like you're so used to so many years crossing that, and then you find yourself dead on with entering the ramp. That's going to take you into 24 south.
Absolutely.
Then they move over. So that's the thing, and it's not really lined. The configuration, they need to line it. So maybe they're doing it soon. If we get some nice weather, hopefully they can do it. Weather needs to be kind of warm before they start dropping paint.
Yeah,
I think. But just watch that. It's done. It's pretty much almost all done. But I just keep an eye on it. The lane configuration is different now. If you're on the right hand lane, westbound, it's gonna put you on the highway.
Maybe hopefully they get some string of 50-degree days, maybe, that they can do it. But
I don't know.
I doubt it.
Maybe just stay on the left-hand lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the left, and you won't be.
For now, be extremely careful because it could be a couple of days before they can do it because of the weather. Of the weather. The weather right now is a little bit too messed up.
Well, they need to do some. They got looks like they need to do a little more paving, just some line. Spray some lines and get some of those islands done, and I think they're done. So hopefully they got a plan. They got it wrapped up.
I think
snow's gone. So
snow is gone. There's no snow in the forecast for the rest of the year. Gotta wait for some warmer weather. Gotta wait for a string of 50-degree days. 50-something degree days to do it.
Do we have any coming up? No, you just read the.
There's 30s, upper 30s, and then there's 50s, and there's upper 30s again.
What, here?
Yeah, it's up and down. It's going to be up and down, yes.
Well, they got to jump right on those. They'll be smart on those 50-degree days. Just have their ducks in a row to get it banged out.
Yeah.
Because, from January 1st, well, next week, getting into January,
it's going to be cold.
All bets are off.
Yeah, it's going to be cold.
We get another snowstorm, and then we had the snow on the ground 6 days. And it all disappeared on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And how about 2020 giving us a nice Christmas Day windstorm? How's that, huh? How's that for 2020? Is that a send off for everybody or what?
It didn't snow, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of people lost power. And
and that's not good.
Everyone's worried about losing
power. And that's
power.
not
They're
good.
trying to enjoy their Christmas. Bad enough they can't visit their families now.
Yeah.
2020 windstorm
it's just not
comes
good.
along.
It's just not good.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
2021.
Hopefully it's better.
Hopefully it's a better year. There will be a lot of events to talk about in 2021. A lot of events. Globally. Of course. Tokyo. The Olympics. If, it happens again. They might again,
First time in an odd year, huh?
They might postpone it again because there's talk about postponing it again. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, I'd love to see the Olympics in 2021. There's some other events, the World Expo that happens every year. That got postponed this year and is being pushed to next year. I believe the World Cup, FIFA World Cup, I don't know if it happens next year or 2022, but it's going to happen in the next couple of years here as well. I don't think that will be affected. I don't know. It's just too early to say what events will and will not be affected in 2021. Of course, we have vaccines that are being shipped out, but not a lot of people have been vaccinated yet. So we will see over the coming weeks and months what events are going to be on and what events will not be on. Of course, I think the Super Bowl will still be played. Obviously, the season's almost all done. What capacity will that be? I don't know. There will be a halftime show. As far as I know, what capacity that will be, no one knows. So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. All right, 7:21. Before we take a commercial break, we want to thank a few people. We want to thank Williams Trading Post for sponsoring us again here in 2020. They did close a couple of days ago for the season. We want to thank them for sponsoring us again here in 2020. We want to thank Spire Street Auto for sponsoring us in 2020 as well. We want to thank St. Vincent de Paul of Middleboro for sponsoring us as well. And many others as well who have been sponsoring us. Combat Vets as well for sponsoring us. And all the great guests that we've had in 2020 as well. We've had a lot of great guests. So, thank you to everyone who's helped out with Middleboro Review in 2020 and 2021. Here we go.
I also want to thank the management for letting us have the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mike Pacheco.
Thank you, Chris Keach for helping.
Chris Keach.
Jim.
Tony Lopes for letting me have the show. Let me just start the show back in 2019. Thank you. And many more. Jim Larkin.
Everybody.
Everyone on the WVBF staff. Everybody.
Yes, everybody. And even all the great, even the people who have the Sunday shows.
Yeah. Yep. Pastor Van Cross. Ed Suka. Jim Larkin. Many more. Roger Haber, who
was very part of
it. Was a real part of Sundays as well, up until a couple of weeks ago. Ed Miller, Tony Branch. So thank you to everyone who has made 2020 in Middleboro in Review special.
And made this station something special.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And we have a beautiful new office here, a new studio. This place is awesome. Right here at the center of the universe, 14 Church Green in Taunton. It's so nice here. It's such a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
We could broadcast in here. It's
next.
A nice, spacious room. We got a nice conference room, big office. We're at a great location. Taunton Federal Credit Union. You couldn't get any more superior than that, in my opinion.
Next month will be 1 year since we have been here at the Taunton Federal Credit Union as well. We're at 14 Church Green here in Taunton.
Yes, it's a great spot. I really love it here, and we got everything all set up, and we've been doing all right through this COVID thing. You gotta get your rules here, and no guests, and I understand that. But hopefully in
2021 we will have a lot more phone people calling in from the phone, and also people in the studio. Hopefully.
Yeah, and when Mark feels it's appropriate and everything's safe. I mean, he needs to be careful. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's the case, and I could see brighter days coming. We'll all hold the fort here. We'll all showed up and did what we had to do. Chris showing up every morning and everyone doing their thing. And Paul too.
Yes, Paul Lazarovich was a great program on Saturdays. Yesterday was a replay. I was here to play the replay for him. So yesterday was a replay of I think it was the December 13th show.
Right. And then and you gotta thank everybody. You really do. Sometimes you just gotta stop, even though
Yeah.
you got a show to do and you got a lot to get to. Sometimes you just need to stop and just really
It's
take
important.
solace on
It's important. You have to.
who's helped you, and
Yep.
A lot of people have gone out of the way for you, and you've gone out your way for this. So it's a team. There's no I in team. So you're always there to help people,
And also the people outside of
Right.
outside of WVBF as well, who has helped me along the way. Really starting just in this career, Karen, Foy, and Zach from MACAM as well. I want to make them.
they got you started.
They got me started in this field.
Karen had, but you know who's getting really thank? Who's the first person who helped you at Matt Camp?
John Haley.
John Haley.
John Haley. Yeah.
John Haley. Every Tuesday night, Monday night, you were there.
Yes.
Helping out.
Yeah.
You know, working the sound, and he was a great guy. He was a good teacher, and he was your first. You know what I mean? As far as Karen. And you sat with Karen, you sat with Zach, you sat with everybody at MACAM. MACAM's awesome. And when that starts back up, I bet you look forward to doing some filming. And
yeah, when that starts back up, I'm
really take advantage.
definitely
learn the editing and just know it all.
Yeah.
And hopefully get back to school soon and whatever.
Yeah, hopefully get back to Massasoit in September.
Right, but you just got to take solace. You got to be thankful for what you have.
Yeah.
That you have your health and you got all these great people who go to bat for it.
And there was a lot of great teachers in Massasoit too that I'm learning from as well. So a lot of great people who has helped me along the way.
It was a tough year, but we make the best of it.
2021 will be better.
I think
2021 will be better.
I think it will. I just got to be positive.
All right, it is 7:27 a.m.
Oh boy.
I know. A little late, but...
Yeah, the commercial breaks you were supposed to take 10 minutes ago, right?
We'll take a commercial break now, and then we'll take a commercial break at 7:45. Don't worry, we'll organize the commercial breaks here. All right, so commercial break. You're listening to us here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. You are listening to us here on the TuneIn app. You type in WVBF 1530 AM, and you will find us. You can also listen to us on the YouTube channel that we have. I created that back in May for the show to organize all the shows into many different spots. I have the Facebook Live as well that I do every Sunday, and now the YouTube to put on put the shows on as well. So a lot of great avenues where you can listen to the show. But the most important one is the radio. If you're able to listen to us on radio, 1530 AM or 99.7 FM, please do. That is the most important avenue where you can listen to us. Again, 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the December 27th edition of Middleboro in Review. Perfect. Great. First half of the show done. Pretty much. All right. Let's see here. All right, Spark Street. I gotta, Is there a day this week where you're gonna be off? Are you gonna be off New Year's Day?
Yeah, it might be. Why?
You gotta go to Spark Street and
I don't think he's open yet. Give him a call.
I'll give him a call tomorrow.
He knows a check last time, didn't he?
Maybe. Might have been. He might have.
No, give him a call. Call him Monday and say, hey, you just wanna...
Okay. Yeah.
You got the same amount, 130, right?
Yes, 130. So I gotta make sure I get that done. I gotta call. Yeah, I gotta call Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association too.
I'd call. I'd try calling. Try calling. Fisher Street Park Joe talks to that guy. He said to call back.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I want, just.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna look around too. Get another sponsor or two here. this coming week. Look around a little bit. There's some businesses where I'm interested. I'm interested in getting that business there that we went to detail the car. What's the name of that business again?
I don't remember.
Alright. Well, I'll find it. I know it was in Bridgewater.
I don't think the guy needs any advertisement. The guy's like 4 weeks out all the time. I think I'll be talking to him about that.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
I'll ask. All you can do is ask.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, you're gonna ask like a lot of people.
All you gotta do is ask.
You ask a lot of people.
He did a really good job on my car. I wanna, if he's interested in doing the commercials with us, I'm interested in having him because he's really did a good job on my car.
Anyone affected by the COVID-19 crisis is welcome to register as a client with no income thresholds. To register by phone, just call 508-947-1717 and leave a message by selecting option 1.
Right.
Your call will be returned by a volunteer who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are self-quarantined, we will shop for you and deliver the groceries directly to your door. During the pandemic, we've taken all necessary precautions for the safety of clients and volunteers and have managed to remain open throughout the crisis.
Last commercial.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune
Can't play the Emerald Isle promo today because it's not airing.
You gotta mention that.
I'm gonna, yeah.
VBF, broadcasting from the Talking Federal Credit Union Studios.
Coming back in 15 seconds.
Informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talking Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we're back here on Middleboro in Review for December 27th, 2020. Alright, a little programming note for today. No Sounds of the Emerald Isle today. Jim Larkin will be out. So he will not be on this week. So he'll be out today. So no Sounds of the Emerald Isle. So from 12 to 2, there'll be the Talking Information Center. And then 2 to 3 o'clock will still be Stand Up Strong. That will still be airing today. So 2 to 3, that will be on. But no Sounds of the Emerald Isle today. All right. So I found this very interesting and good and really good story in my research this week. There was a generous couple who paid for meals for everyone at a Middleboro restaurant. Random acts of kindness seem to be popping up all over the South Coast as Christmas and New Year's approaches. On Sunday, it was Charred Oak Tavern in Middleboro. There was a couple who on Sunday night pulled the server aside and told her that they wanted to buy every person a meal that night in the spirit of the holidays. As of this writing, there's a post that it's on Facebook, I believe, that the post has been shared almost 80 times with hundreds of reactions to this incredible display of kind-heartedness. And that is amazing. That is such a kind act that this couple did. Again, there was a Charred Oak Tavern. It was last week. Yeah, that was really a good story to talk about.
It's probably a spontaneous thing.
Yeah, there's all sorts of random acts of kindness going around lately, and that's really nice.
I was at a pizza place in East Boston, very famous one, right? Pretty much at the tunnel, and I popped in there. I think I just dropped someone off at the airport or whatever, and there was a serviceman with his family having dinner. Guess he was getting ready to get shipped out. He was going overseas, and there was like I don't know, there was 10 of them there. I picked up the tab for them. Went over, shook the man's hand. Thank you for your service. I thought, it was my honor to do that. Well, this was years ago, though. I mean, I just noticed him over there with his family, and like I said, they had like, 6, 7, 8 people, I think, including himself. And I asked the waiter, and I said, and they were, I think, looks like he got the wind that he was flying out of Logan to go overseas or whatever, be deployed somewhere. And I think it was around the Iraq wartime. It was on 03, 04. I think I remember that's when the timeline was. And and it was a spontaneous thing. I was like, okay. Pull out my credit card and says, I'm paying for everything. Paying for my bill, my mail and their mail. I don't care what it cost. I don't even remember what it was. I don't care what it was. But that's like I say, you get a spontaneous thing. You do that. And, they came over, the father and mother and the gentleman who was in the military came over, and they shook my hand and thanked me, and I just thanked them for their service, and I was honored to buy them pizza, I don't know, whatever, Their family was all hanging out, and they wanted,
Yeah.
And it's a pizza place, I'll mention the name because they're not a sponsor, is a famous pizza place in East Boston. It's right at the mouth of the 1-8 tunnel. I think most people who know Boston knows that pizza place. It's awesome pizza. Best pizza on the planet, in my opinion. Well, maybe not the planet, but pretty close. There's another place in Randolph that has the best pizza on the planet, too.
There's a lot of places that...
There's a lot of places that don't.
That are really good.
You're the pizza snob.
That are... in not even in cities, they're in towns. There are a lot of great places that are in towns and not in a city.
That's why you need to land a couple pizza places for your show.
Yeah. I'm thinking about which ones.
You're the pizza guru. You're a pizza guru and you're a pizza snob. You're the biggest pizza snob I know.
Yeah.
Always got an opinion, Joey.
Yeah, I do. All right, real quick, get the sports out of the way. Celtics did lose last night, as I just see here, looking at the record right away. They did lose. They lost to the Nets 123-95. I did not catch the game. I watched a little bit of the Christmas Day NBA games, but I kind of got bored after a while, and kind of got bored with the TV after a while. So I just, relaxed the entire day, not watching TV. So, but the Nets and the Celtics. Nets did lose. I mean, they didn't lose. They won. I'm sorry. The Nets did win against the Celtics. Celtics tonight take on the Pacers. Actually, it looks like they take on the Pacers twice, which is tonight and also Tuesday night as well. So, interesting. Back-to-back with the Pacers. That's probably a home and home. So, one game will be in Boston and another one will be in Indiana. So, we'll see. The next two games. Those are winnable games, I think, in my opinion. Those are winnable games. Then the Grizzlies, that's a winnable game. Pistons, I think that's a winnable game. And actually another back-to-back with the Pistons, it looks like. The Raptors, not as tough as recent years, but I think that'll be a good game. The Heat, that'll be a tough game. The Heat are now squarely in the top. They're really up there now in contention. They're back to where they were with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, in that era of the Heat. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach, and he has brought the Heat back to where they need to be. And that's a tough game now, the Heat versus the Celtics. In recent years, the Celtics have dominated that series. But it's tough now. With great players like Tyler Hero. The Heat are up there now. So that'll be a tough game. That is going to take place on the 6th of January. Bruins are coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Not a really great offseason. We've lost some pretty pivotal players. But I think that they're still in the higher up of the standings. I think they will still have a alright season. Stanley Cup, I don't know. It's too early to say. But season starts the end of next month. The NFL, yesterday the Dolphins actually beat the Raiders. The Raiders have fallen apart. I don't know. John Gruden's a good coach, but I guess he can't seem to get it together with the Raiders as of now, and that's really, really a shame, because the Raiders are a team that can win. They just need some place to go their way, and it hasn't. Giants take on the Ravens today at 1 p.m. Browns take on the Jets. Browns, that's a winnable game for the Browns. The Jets, they got away with one. They got away with winning one. I think that's the only one they win this year, honestly. They got away with winning one. Browns should beat them, but we'll see. Falcons versus Chiefs. Chiefs should run over the Falcons. I'm not even going to talk about if the Falcons have any shot at that. Chiefs have been on fire since winning the Super Bowl. They've only lost one game, so I think they've only lost one game. So the Chiefs are on fire. Bengals, Texans, tough game to call. Both teams are kind of in the bottom of the league, but tough game to call there. Colts, Steelers, another tough game. The Steelers can get it together. That'd be nice. They've lost a couple of games that they probably shouldn't have lost. Seahawks and Rams, big time game. That's probably the game of the week. Right there. And Bills and Patriots again tomorrow night. I don't know. That's up in the air. And that's a game that we have to win. But if we lose, no big deal either, I think, in my opinion. All right. Because the season it's pretty much over. All right. So there is a bridge called the Medal of Honor Bridge, which connects Middleboro to Carver. And a couple of weeks ago, at the beginning of the month, the Board of Selectmen from both Middleboro and Carver have united to dedicate and memorialize 3 local heroes by renaming the Rochester Road and Pine Street Bridge to the Medal of Honor Bridge. The Medal of Honor is the highest and most prestigious personal military decoration that can be awarded to recognize U.S. military service members who have distinguished themselves by acts of valor. In the entire history of North America, in all the wars that have been fought, with the millions of men who were in those battles, we have only 3,225 Medal of Honor recipients. Middleborough resident and co-commander of the Simeon L. Jackson American L Legion Post 64, Robert Lassard, explained. Not only are there 2 of the Medal of Honor recipients from Middleborough, but another one from Carver. Patrick Reagan is one of them. Patrick Reagan. Wayne M. Karen as well. And then there's one more. Lowell M. Maxham. So those are the three that have been honored by this naming of the Medal of Honor bridge. Don, your thoughts about that?
Well, you see a lot of that in most bridges that you go over driving around the Commonwealth and other states. And that's good that they're recognizing these heroes, these soldiers. And that's quite an honor to have. And that's good that they think about that. You know, let's think of what a bridge is. What is a bridge, in your opinion?
It's connecting. It's connecting.
Oh, it's a compromise.
It's
It's a compromise.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a compromise. When bridges were first formed, it was a compromise between man and nature, right?
Yeah.
Because most bridges went over rivers. Years ago they didn't have interstates or roads. They didn't even have the railroad. But then they built the bridges. Now this is a river, right?
Yeah.
It goes over, so it's a compromise. So I always look at it that way. It's a compromise between man and nature because you have to go over the river or you get your feet wet.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna have to go around. So that is honorable in itself, and it's a river, it's water. Water's life. Water is the life of all mankind. So without getting mushy over here, that's just a great thing that Middleboro did.
Yeah, and Carver, Middleboro and Carver doing
online, right? The border.
The border, yeah.
That's the big border.
It's a great thing that they did, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I always think of that too.
Me and Don will be going to check out that bridge as well at some point here in the near future.
Yeah, we'll get some pictures on your
and
website.
We'll get some pictures and we'll throw them onto the Facebook for everyone to see.
We wanted to go Christmas Day, but it was just too wet.
It was too wet and rainy out there. Yeah, we need a day where it's nice.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that soon. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we return, it will be our final topic of 2020. And the final topic of 2020, the Roanoke Colony. We're going to talk about that when we return here on Middleboro in Review, December 27th, 2020 at 7:48 a.m. And we'll be right back. All right. Good. 4, 7, and 2.
I'm Lieutenant Roderick of the Taunton Police Department. Before you think about drinking and driving, please think about this. Every day, 28 people in the United States die in motor vehicle crashes involved with an alcohol-impaired driver. This amounts to 1 death every 53 minutes. About 1 in 3 traffic deaths in the United States involves a drunk driver. Driving with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher is considered
Boston Celtics legend Casey Jones dies. Yeah.
Really?
88.
When did that come out?
Please think about that.
Today?
Think about the consequences for your family and your work.
Well,
think about how you will get.
What does it say?
Think about the innocent people who may be hurt or killed when you choose to get behind the wheel after drinking. Think about the cost. You can make a difference. Choose not to drink and drive. Our officers are committed to keeping drunk drivers off the road. Don't drink and drive this long holiday weekend, and be sure to buckle up.
Jones.
The life you save could be your own. Brought to you by the Taunton Police Department and WVBF.
Okay, where is it? 152.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an
I got the article here, but it doesn't really say the date it happened. It could be old, you know what I mean?
Hold on. Casey Jones, he passed away on Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna while we're on this topic, I'm gonna mention somebody else too. A wrestler who just passed away, who was only 41 years old. Passed away the day before Christmas. A pretty popular wrestler too.
Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. Today is the 27th of December. I just found out, we want to mention two people who we lost over the Christmas holidays, the past couple of days. I just found out that K.C. Jones, the Celtics great, who won 11 championships with the Boston Celtics, has just passed away. He passed away on Christmas Day. He was a legend, an absolute legend. He was a really great player. Again, 11 championships, 11 of 12 NBA championships that he won, and he won them with the Celtics. Passed away on Christmas Day. He was 88 years old, and pretty popular wrestler in the wrestling world. The current wrestling world has passed away as well. Jonathan Huber has passed away, also known as Luke Harper in WWE. Passed away at the age of just 41 years old. He had a lung issue, and he passed away. So some pretty significant passings in the sports and sports entertainment world this Christmas season. All right, Don, any thoughts about K.C. Jones or Luke Harper?
Well, I didn't know the wrestler as much. K.C. Jones, that's not to know. That's this Christmas Day too. What a day to pass, huh?
Yeah. And Luke Harper or the Jonathan Huber, he passed away the day after Christmas.
Yeah,
Yesterday, last night.
It's always sad when people die. It was K.C. Jones was 88, right?
K.C. Jones was 88, and Jonathan Huber was 41.
Yeah, it's too young. Oh my God, 41.
41.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's so sad.
Yeah. All right, 7:54. Let's really quick talk about the Roanoke Colony, because I promised we were going to do that. So let's do that. So the Roanoke Colony. That there was two attempts actually to try to found the first permanent English settlement in North America in Roanoke. There was two. And those attempts were made by Sir Walter Raleigh. The English, led by Humphrey Gilbert, had claimed St. John's, Newfoundland in 1583. Newfoundland, sorry. In 1583, as the first North American English colony. But that was not in America itself, it was in Canada. By royal decree by Queen Elizabeth I. Roanoke was second. The first Roanoke colony was established by Governor Ralph Lane in 1585 on Roanoke Island, in what is now Dare County, North Carolina, United States. Following the failure of the 1585 settlement, a second colony, led by John White, landed on the same island in 1587 and became known as the Lost Colony due to unexplained disappearance of its population. Lane's colony was troubled by a lack of supplies and poor relations with the local Native Americans. While awaiting a delayed resupply mission by Richard Greenville, Lane decided to abandon the colony and return to England with Francis Drake. Greenville arrived 2 weeks later and left a small detachment to protect Raleigh's claim. In 1587, Raleigh sent White on an expedition to establish Raleigh, or the city of Raleigh in Chesapeake Bay. However, during a stop to check in on Greenville's men, the flagship pilot Simon Fernandez insisted that White's colonists remain on Roanoke. White returned to England, intending to bring more supplies to his colony in 1588. Instead, the Anglo-Spanish War delayed his return to Roanoke until 1590. Upon his arrival in 1590, he found the settlement fortified but abandoned. The word Croatan found carved into a tree, which White interpreted to mean the colonists had relocated to Croatan Island. Before he could follow his lead, rough seas and lost anchor forced the rescue mission to return to England. And the fate of the colonists remains unknown. There were about 112 to 121 colonists that disappeared. Really, they disappeared and there was really nothing, there was no evidence to suggest where they went. Investigators by the Jamestown colonists produced reports that the Roanoke settlers were massacred, as well as stories of people with European features in Native American villages. But no hard evidence was produced. So there's been some stories over the years about what may have happened and things like that. And it's an interesting topic to talk about. Any thoughts about that, Don?
Well, it's no survivors, huh?
No survivors. Well, they don't know that.
Right.
They don't know that.
Record keeping wasn't really that great back then either.
No, they don't know if there was.
I mean, you're trying to colonize a continent, and so anything's possible. I mean, I know Jamestown, they lost a lot of people. So, yeah.
If the word Croatan had anything to go by, they may have went to Croatan Island, but then again, there's no evidence for that. So
right.
it's an interesting thing to talk about.
Sure.
All right. Well,
good story.
1 minute to go here on Middleboro Review
It's in 2020 for
1 minute left in 2020 for Middleboro Review.
What can we talk
Really
about?
quick. Next program coming up is Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vancross. Be part 2 of a program called For Unto Us. Part 2 of that program coming up after the news. Then we have the Rosary at 8:30. 9 o'clock is Talking Birds. Great show about birds and bird topics. Then at 9:30 we have Keys of the Kingdom. Great program as well. 10 o'clock we have a new program with Edna Isaac, All on God. 10 to 11. Then we have the Musical Odyssey program, which will be a program about, it's called New Year's with the Strausses. I believe that's how you say it. That will be the 11 o'clock program. And at noon to 2, we will have the Talking Information Center. And then at 2 to 3 o'clock, we will have Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Tony Branch.
one thing I want to say about the Talking Information Center. It is really interesting to listen to. I mean, it's even though our shows, we use it in between our shows.
Yeah.
I mean, Doug Cope does a segment on Talking Information Center before we go on the air.
And I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until you told me.
Yeah, no, I know his voice, and he used to work with WBZ. He's a legendary reporter, and I think he retired. Now he's just doing that. But I mean, you can always tell somebody's voice. I mean, people, the anchors that you remember hearing growing up, you just know their voices. They're a staple in your minds of all all the people that you remember growing up with. I remember, I think it was Gary Lapierre, who used to do all the closings for schools.
Yeah.
So, you look out the window and he's like, oh, it's snowing, hey, they got called off school, and you listen, and you wait for your town to be called, and if your town was called, you were dancing around, if your town wasn't called, you'd be bumming out. But you'd be listening, that man was like, he was like a god in the mornings. He'd be listing it all off before the internet. He'd say, I don't listen to the radio.
All right, please tune in for Pastor Van Cross and Bread of Life coming up here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. We will be back in 2021, January the 3rd. We're going to talk about a end of an era. You know what? I gotta do this before we go, guys. If I can here. Hold on 1 second. I almost forgot our Today in Histories. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good. I gotta remember that. Real quick.
No Today in History.
I'm gonna. I have to. All right, 537. The construction of the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. 1932, Radio and Music City Hall, Showplace of the Nation, opens. 1939, during the Winter War, Finland holds off a Soviet attack at the Battle of Kaluga. Birthdays: Charles Sweeney, the American general and pilot. Thomas Menino, the famous mayor of Boston. Very, very popular mayor of Boston. 1988, Rick Porcello, great baseball player for the Red Sox, pitcher. Haley Williams, singer-songwriter, born on the same year for Paramore. And deaths: we lost Princess Leia Organa on this day. 4 years ago, Carrie Fisher passed away. All right, that will do it for today's program. We are 3 minutes late, so we will head out now. Next week, January 3rd, 2021, we're going to talk about the end of an era for the Peanuts. The Peanuts comic ended in January 3rd, 2000. So we'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of the show next week. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. All right.
3 minute news?
3 minute, 3 minutes.
No one says anything for you going over all the time? Isn't that like... Does anyone else go over?
Yeah, sometimes you have people going over. Bye, everybody.